Despite the good news here, we know that there's been increasing prevalence of the Delta variant around the world and in the United States in recent days. We've seen reports of the increasing infections related to this variant in Kansas and Missouri in particular. And like we've seen in North Carolina, community transmission of COVID is occurring in rural parts of those states. So thankfully, getting fully vaccinated will protect individuals from the Delta variant. We encourage people who are on the fence about this to go ahead and get vaccinated. And we know that roughly a third of individuals who are unvaccinated would be willing to get vaccinated when there's full FDA approval of the vaccines. Pfizer and Moderna have applied for that full approval, and we're hopeful in the second half of this calendar year that approval will come, particularly as we're thinking about the fall and the potential for spread of the Delta variant in our communities. Yeah, it is a concern, although I don't know that we've seen a lot of that just yet, since we haven't had a lot of Delta variant in our communities, but we think that's going to be increasing. There's some concern that that variant could spread in schools in the fall, and that remains to be seen. So, again, the more people that get vaccinated in your community, the less likely you are to have cases, the less likely for new variants to arrive. And I think what we can anticipate in the weeks and months ahead is, pockets of outbreaks of COVID likely related to Delta variants in parts of our communities that have lower vaccination rates. And I think that will occur, in any kind of congregate setting, including potentially in schools. So thankfully, kids generally do pretty well with COVID. They do real well with COVID, actually. But there are cases that are pretty serious in children. And so we're hopeful that we'll get more approval on vaccination for children, and that the adults in the communities will get vaccinated so we don't see that kind of spread. I'm hopeful, say midsummer and the late summer, FDA will fully approve vaccine. That third of the unvaccinated folks who are waiting for that will say, okay, I'll get it now. And then that'll help just that'll drive vaccine and remove some of that hesitancy we've seen for the last few months.